Kyle, here we go. All right, here we go. Tonight we are going to paint a floral heart. You want to start with a light peach color. I mixed this up earlier. So you're going to make this color by mixing Indian yellow and a red or a pink. So I have quinacridone magenta and then Indian yellow. You can use bismuth yellow as well, and it will make a really pretty light peach. And you want to paint a nice big heart. I'm switching around my things. My camera's so close to the paper that I couldn't see my reference photo. Use a reference photo just for kind of inspiration. Usually doesn't look the same as the reference photo or exactly alike. It's just something that I like to have there as to kind of where I'm going. A lot of the times I'll paint things twice and then I'll use my own reference photo from me painting. All right, you want to go ahead and dry this up because we're going to paint the florals on the edge. I think that I would have liked to have gone a little bit lighter and made this more of a wash, but that is okay. Okay, so I'm gonna paint a little rose here. Go into my 4. Hi, I'm glad you're here. So you're painting little C shapes to create this rose here. Thank you. All right, now I'm gonna dip into my green. Hi. So if you need like a nice, pretty sap-like green, mix an Indian yellow with like an ultramarine. So you want to do light pressure for your stems. And then for your leaves, you want to drag and lift. Okay, I'm thinking I want to use a teal so that it shows through the heart better. I could probably do a bird if I have time. My kiddos are wanting bedtime stories, so I wanted to do a quick live before bed. But I will be back tomorrow at this time, probably a little bit earlier, around 5 or 6:30 Central Standard Time, and I can paint your profile picture then. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to use a ultramarine blue, And we're just going to make these 3 teardrops almost right next to each other. And this will create a little flower. Since I'm using a round size brush, this will make those shapes really easy. Just gonna need more water. So whenever you see this dry brush, it starts to be like really dry and streaky, you definitely want to use more water. So that's why I said, oh, I need more water. So that's an important trick for watercolor paint. Oftentimes, if you're getting that streakiness, it's probably because you need more water. Let's see here. I feel like I need a smaller brush. Sometimes if you want to make smaller flowers, grab a smaller brush. I definitely want a different green here. Oh, nice. I'm mixing some azure with Indian yellow to see how I like this. Stuck my fingers in my palette. So, Indian yellow and azure blue from artisticisle.com. Ooh, pretty. I like that. If you add a little bit of your red to your green, it will get darker. Give it kind of a shadow. No habla español. Un poquito. I can only speak a tiny bit of Spanish. Must use very small words. Oh, see? No parlez-vous français. Like, I can say bonjour, and that's all. I cannot speak a lick of French. A friend of mine, when we were in middle school, I took Spanish and she took French, and I did not take French at all. It was not the language that I chose. I wanted to do Italian or Spanish, I thought it would serve me better. I know, but there's another commenter that's speaking French. I did have a recent order come from a French computer, but with a US address. And the website, it verifies whether or not it's a fraudulent purchase or if it's a highly suspect purchase. And so because the order was shipping to a US address and it was made from a computer in France, that made me kind of uncomfortable. It was a medium on the scale, but I was like, it's not worth it. All right. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Guess I'm going to fill this whole heart real quick. Add a couple bigger flowers. Do a couple of blue ones. The round size brushes will really help make leaves. I'm going to dry this up, and I wanted to write in the center. Oh, and I feel like I need to have lighter yellow-green leaves over here. Just kind of balance it out. That'll work. I feel like that balances it out more because of these yellow-green leaves down here. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I just keep wanting to paint. How about some darker green around the edge? Aw, merci. Hi, welcome back. So adding in some dark green around the edge. Now, if you ever want to do the lettering, I highly recommend using a liner or you want to use a liner or a 0 or a 1 size round. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. My daughter loves bunny rabbits, so I think a bunny is a good choice. Just finishing off the leaves here. I like the carrot. Maybe around Easter time I'll teach how to paint some bunny rabbits. I'm getting ready to start teaching intro to watercolor or intro to drawing this week. So thank you. I really enjoy watercolor, and I actually make all the paint from scratch. It's all available at artisticisle.com. I like the name Aria. A young lady I went to school with named her daughter Aria. I wanted to name my firstborn Aria, but my husband was like, no. I'm like, what? That's a beautiful name. So, when you're naming the baby, I think that both parties should get a say and come to an agreement. Did you know, I think in Iceland, the baby, they try a bunch of different names on the baby, and they don't settle on the name until the baby's like 3 to 6 months old, and then you have to take the baby to the city council. And the council has to approve the name of your child. Can you imagine going to the hospital and them saying, you know, let's see what we want to name this child later. Come back in 3 to 6 months and we'll hold a board meeting to see if that's the right name for your kid. Stormy. Well, I don't know. Anybody that I've ever met with the name Stormy had kind of a rough disposition. So maybe you're better off. My mom had the final say on my name. Too bad Dad didn't fight her too much for it. So. All right, well, I think that I've painted all I can paint tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, and I'll be back tomorrow around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.